Well, hello there. How's everybody doing? It's been a while since I did one of these videos, but I got the books in today. My first day of the Amazon book, Magic and Mystery of Marijuana. Actually, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's 100 pages roughly. Looks good. I'm an old printer. I did the layout with the help of my daughter. Uh, Basically, I dictated a lot of it, and then my daughter helped me with the grammar and the punctuation and with the Word document. It wasn't that hard. I'm amazed at how easy it was to go from the idea of writing a book to actually producing it. It's been about 4 weeks. The reason that prompted it is the last video, or one of the last videos I made about karaoke, was my eyes were giving me a real problem. They would swell shut at the end of a show in each day. And I went to doctors. Doctors couldn't determine what's wrong. I've had other symptoms over the last few years. Some of you know about. I had a leg infection that's 3 years in February. It's still not totally cleared up. More fatigue than I'd like to have, not as much energy. I did some research on something that was called CHS, I believe it is. I can't even pronounce the words. It's Cannabis Hypothesis Syndrome or something like that, which basically occurs, doctors have reported that people come into the ER vomiting and can't stop, and that's been attributed to cannabis, too much overload. And my story is 50 years. 50 years I've used marijuana. I started when I was 28 years old. And actually, in those days, you know, it was pretty dangerous to let anybody know you even smoked it. The penalties were pretty heavy, and there was a lot of negative stuff against it. But one of the main things I learned about it way back then, you couldn't hardly detect anybody who was doing it. So I managed to control a lot of other abusive problems I had in my life with marijuana, helping. I guess you could say I self-medicated. It was my recreational drug of choice. On and off again, mostly with moderation, a long period of time. There's not much about marijuana and drugs that I don't know. So I hate to say that, but you know, I've been around it all, either myself or with friends. I've got friends who've been in prison because they got caught doing something they shouldn't do. I've known people that got sick. I know people that died from too much and overdose, that kind of thing. So, you know, the message I want to send is that I'm not against moderation of substances here on earth. I believe in God, and I believe God put everything here for the good of man. But he also wants to caution us against excessive use. Moderation is the key. And I successfully used marijuana for many, many years, with moderation. What happened was I had arthritis. And by the way, I don't have arthritis. My knuckles used to be swollen. I had nodes on them. I had pain in my hands, pain in my elbows, pain in my knees. And after they quit making Celebrex, I started getting pain medications, and I never have liked pain medications. And I discovered that marijuana would relieve the pain. So, you know, that was one of the reasons I smoked marijuana. I was self-medicating. It was medical marijuana, you know, that was my excuse. And but when CBD came along, I immediately got some and got even more pain relief with CBD than I had with just marijuana. So I kind of did like I do a lot of things, just went overboard. And at that time, I don't even know what they say today, but at that time they said, well, you can't overdose on it. So, you know, they couldn't tell you how much dosage to take. So I got it in my mind, just take as much as you can afford. And that's what I did. For about 3 years, I took an average of about 250 milligrams of CBD per day on top of what I got in my system from smoking. Now, miraculously, my arthritis went away. Don't have any problem with my teeth. I'm 78 years old, still got my original teeth. A lot of good things. And most of you that know that I've been involved in these things will tell you that you know, I've stood by the benefits. However, I've come to the conclusion that there may be, and I say may be, some side effects that we don't know about. One of the title of my book is The Magic and Mysteries of Marijuana. Well, the magic is it's got a lot of positive benefits. And I will tell you, it's a lot easier to wean yourself off marijuana. It's less addictive than alcohol or cigarettes or any of those drugs like that. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to have damage like you do with a lot of other substances. And it's just the best of all the drugs that affect your mentality. So I'm not saying no marijuana. I'm saying it's... Actually, I believe that cannabis and CBD and could possibly be a lot of medical benefit used in moderation with proper dosages. The problem is because of the legal status of it and the war against drugs and putting it in a category with the really bad stuff, there's really not been much research on it. It's kind of weird that they got heroin, which is one of the most deadliest drugs out there, is used to make medicines, which is, they changed the name to opioid. And we have an opioid crisis from a Schedule I drug, but yet with cannabis and marijuana, there's no research and it's still a Schedule I drug. Well, the reason is pretty simple. Big Pharma profits off of the manufacture of a patented drug using heroin, and they really can't find a way to make much profit off of a plant that's grown. So anyway, all of that aside, my decision to stop smoking marijuana right now is to see if these side effects will clear up, see if my eyes will clear up. And they look like they're doing pretty good. I'm on week 9 right now as we speak. I feel much better than I have in a long time. I've gotten past the withdrawal symptoms quite a bit. But understanding the endocannabinoid system, and I can't pronounce any of these things right, as I do, I know it's going to take probably several months before my body gets back to a natural state. And my experience with alcohol, at one point I was overboard with alcohol. I cleaned up, got off of it, never went back to drinking like I had done in the past, and was able to moderate. So I know moderation comes after you're clean. You can't go from excess to moderation. You got to clean up and then you can come back up. That's the way it works. So anyone thinks that I've quit for good, I'm not even saying that. I don't really know. What I do know is that God's in control. And I do pray. One thing, being at my age like I am now, I've learned to trust God a whole lot more than in my earlier years. I've believed in God for a long time, but he's been kind of like my next door neighbor. I know him, I speak to him, and I respect him and all that, but I never really was too involved with him. Well, today, being retired, not working, I have a lot of time to think and pray and meditate. And I can tell you, God has put it in my heart that I need to write this book and talk about this openly, my experience. The truth is, there's not a whole lot of people that are in as good a health and good a shape as I am that can say that they spent 50 years with marijuana. And I can honestly tell you that. And so if you're thinking about using marijuana or do use marijuana or you're interested in it, I hope you read the book. I hope it helps you with your own choice in life. And that's what I want to say is life is about choices. And if you make the right choices, things will happen pretty good. I guess writing the book was one of them. It's been just over 4 weeks ago that I had, maybe I ought to write a book idea. And I sat down and I actually dictated most of it into this telephone that we're talking on, and then used Microsoft Word to convert the dictation into type, and then had my daughter help me edit it. And bingo, uploaded it to Amazon, and they're printing the books. So to get the book, this is it. Magic and Mystery of Marijuana. You can go to Amazon.com, and it's $11.95, and you can get it in a couple of days. The first ones today, there were 6 delivered. They don't tell me who bought them, but they tell me how many we sold each day, and they don't report them until they're actually delivered. So today was the first day they were delivered. We delivered 6 of them. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If you're one of the people that bought one, I want to tell you how much I appreciate it. What I need right now, if this is going to become a seller, is I need reviews. I need people that do buy the book and read it to go online with Amazon and write a review about what you think of it. And hopefully you think it's good. If I get enough good reviews, then Amazon will begin to also push the book. That's what it takes. They've made it real easy to publish a book, but it's up to the author to actually promote it. And I love to promote anything, so we're going to see what happens here. And that's about all I can say, other than in closing, people have said they want the book and want it signed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have copies to sell at a book signing in the near future. I ordered some now, but it takes longer to get those books than it does the individual books they sell. If you order a book online today for $11.95, you'll get it within 2 days. The author copies, I get a discount where I can sell them at the $11.95 and make money on them, or give it to the venue that I'm doing the book signing in. But it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to get those books, and I don't know if I'm going to have them by January the 22nd. And January 22nd is going to be the first book signing event that I actually do. B.B. Wolf's is having a craft fair down there on the 22nd. It's from 2 to 6. I'm going to be there signing books. If I have some books, I'll have them for sale. If you really want to be sure to get a sign on that day, you might want to order it from Amazon and then just bring it with you when you come down there. After that, I've got no solid commitments yet on where I'll have book signings. I know I will have one out at 510 Bar in Katy. I've talked to Skip about that. And the old location of Coasters down there is now a Leaf Smoke Shop. And I stopped in there and met the young lady that's the owner of that. And she's agreed that we can probably have a book signing there in the neighborhood here. So, and then I've also talked to my friend Nick out at Jack's. And we're actually talking about possibility of doing another karaoke show there, maybe on a monthly basis. I have retired from karaoke, but Nick bought the speakers that I used to use, and they're mounted on his wall. So one thing I'm retired from is hauling all that equipment around and setting it up, but in his location, it'll be real easy just to walk in there with a laptop and set up for the show. So we haven't made any decision on that yet, but it's a possibility by the end of January we'll have a show there. And of course, I'll be signing books at any show I do. So anyway, that's pretty much it for now. We are still in the eBay business. I'll be doing some videos on that real soon. We took a break from actually listing things on eBay during the holidays. We went to Florida over in November, and when we came back, I decided to stop this marijuana smoking and got into this book. And you know, the great thing about being retired is I don't have a plan. I just take it one day at a time. And so that's what we're doing. But I want to thank everyone for your support. I'm asking for it again, I guess, with this book. And hopefully, once a few people get it and start talking about it, it'll be of use to some people. There's a lot of things that you get with experience that you just can't get any other way. And being old, that's what I have, is lots of experience. So thank you again. See you soon.